everyone, time for another Fit Friday. This is like one of my most requested videos on my channel. I always stand here in the kitchen. Let's stand somewhere else. So yeah, Fit Fridays. Why haven't there been any? Well, I've been gone for like 2.5 weeks now. I know you guys love them. I like doing them too, but my health has been really crap in about the last half year. In 2013, in the summer, it was like end of August 2013, I had a really bad back injury and I never really talked about it. I just didn't want to make a big deal out of it. I didn't want to, you know, go into like really personal details and stuff here on YouTube because it is like a private matter. I was hospitalized for like several days and had a really long recovery period. It took me a really long time until I was able to walk, until I was able to, you know, do everything again. And you know, back then I did have physiotherapy. I was going to physiotherapy and doing all that. Then it was like getting better and better and better, but it never was like perfect. I never was like completely pain-free after that. I mean, that's like 2013. That's basically for 2.5 years now. I've been kind of dealing with back pain on and off. And some days it's been worse, some days it's been less. And it's never gone away. And I just was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to live with it because there's nothing really that can be done. I think for the last half year, a lot of the symptoms came back really strongly, constantly dealing with back pain. It's been getting worse and worse and worse. And I never went to the doctor. I'm like a person who doesn't just run to the doctor at the first instance. I kind of drag it out. And, you know, my husband was telling me all the time, go to the doctor, go to the doctor. And I'm just like, no, you know, I'll deal with it, which is like totally stupid. I mean, it was beyond the point of me being able to deal with it. You know what I mean? Even during my trip to Japan and when I got back, I've just been dealing with crippling pain every single day. I've just been getting really depressed about it because it's like anyone who deals with chronic pain knows that it's more than just dealing with the pain. It's like it completely affects your quality of life. You know, every morning I have this like crippling pain. I can hardly get out of bed and even lying in bed hurts. You know, I got a special desk after my injury, like a really expensive desk. It was like over $1,000 and it's one that goes like up and down electronic or like it's an electronic desk so you can adjust it so you can stand up so you're not sitting down all day, and that was like a big investment, but I'm so glad I got it because there's periods when I can't even sit anymore and then there's periods where I can't stand anymore. So yeah, it's been really affecting me in the past couple weeks again, and I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna go back to my doctor. And I can't live like this for the rest of my life, you know, dealing with this chronic pain. And I need to have a long-term solution. I won't just accept that I'm going to deal with pain for the rest of my life. Like I'm not an old woman yet. And I shouldn't not be able to get out of bed in the morning physically because I have so much pain. Like I should film myself getting out of bed in the morning. Like you would think I'm like a 90-year-old person. Like I have to like roll myself carefully, and like next week I'm starting physiotherapy again, and I'm just crossing my fingers, and I hope you guys cross your fingers for me that it's going to work. Yeah, and because of that, that there haven't been regular Fit Fridays because I've been dealing with these back issues that have prevented me from regular exercise. And it's made me so unhappy with myself because, you know, I've gained weight due to it. You know, I haven't been able to work out regularly. I've had to miss weeks and weeks of training basically because it's been so painful that I can't exercise because you might injure yourself and stuff like that. It's just been hard to deal with. You know, I've gained weight, which doesn't make me feel happy about myself. You know, it doesn't make me feel good about myself, obviously. You know, I don't want to just be eating salad all the time. You know, I'm someone who gains weight really easily. If I don't exercise regularly, I gain weight, even if I'm, you know, watching what I eat. And I do eat healthy, you know, it's not like I'm eating junk food all the time. Lots of vegetables still. Every day I eat tons of salads and vegetables and stuff. You know, I used to exercise like 4 times a week, and not being able to do that anymore has of course kind of changed things on my body. I just wish I had like a perfectly healthy back. I just wish you know, if people always ask, oh, if there's something you could change about yourself, what would it be? Well, for me, I'd get a fucking different back. Yeah, Fit Fridays, I think that's why there haven't been as many, because often I couldn't film workout. So I'm thinking in the next while, until my back recovers and until I can exercise regularly again, I would do more videos around food. And I love food videos, and I think I'm a pretty fucking good cook, to be honest. I don't know, if you want to see any kind of videos like that, or if you have any ideas of what kind of videos you want to see on Fit Friday that aren't just me like exercising, because like I said, right now I don't know on what days I can exercise. Like today, probably not, because my back is in so much pain. And even like running and stuff like that, which is so fun to film. It's like, I can't go running. It's such a high impact sport. You know, I don't want to go into every minute detail of my health and blah. I think that stuff doesn't really belong on YouTube, but I wanted you guys to know what I'm dealing with. So I'm just making my breakfast today, and I've got a big cup of coffee. I made myself a Bodum coffee, a really healthy bread, and this is one of these like super whole grain breads. You can see all the grains in here, and I'm gonna have a slice of this. And I've got some organic almond butter. I love this. The only thing in here is almonds. I love those kind of ingredient lists. It's like ingredients, almonds. Low sugar marmalade or jam or whatever. And this is black cherry. And then I'm also going to be boiling some eggs. Yeah, here's my painkillers. Would you like some painkillers with your breakfast? So I had a painkiller this morning, but anyhow, I'm going to boil 2 eggs. I think I might hard boil them today. I haven't had hard boiled eggs in a while, so I'm just cooking the water here. Okay, so I've got my piece of bread with the almond butter and the low calorie jam. All right guys, it is 5 p.m. I have been basically editing footage all day from all my traveling. So I thought I would just kind of show you what I'm going to prepare for dinner tonight. Wow, my skin looks really good today. If I may say so myself. Zucchini, and then I've got some bell peppers, a red and yellow one. I have a eggplant, and then I have some asparagus. And then recently I went to a local farmer, and they sell stuff from the farm directly, and I bought some potatoes. So I have to wash these because they're still like straight out of the earth basically. And I think I'm just gonna make like a totally vegetarian dinner and use up all these vegetables. Okay, so the first thing I did is just washed all the vegetables, of course, and then you just want to start chopping everything up. This is not rocket science. I just like to try and chop them up so they're about even sizes, because when you cook them, you want them to be kind of to have the same cooking time. So cut everything up. And then I just put them on a baking sheet with some parchment paper and put them all in place. I also added some cherry tomatoes. And then the asparagus, I like to peel the bottom because it can be very fibrous and tough. So I like to peel that off so it gets not so hard to chew. And I peeled all the asparagus and then also cut those into pieces, same as the other vegetable, and added that to the mix. And the potatoes, same thing. I don't like to cut them too big because otherwise they take forever to cut. So try and cut them about the same size as you did the veggies. And yeah, just cutting those and chopping them to size. And then I just rinsed them and also put them on a baking tray. And then you definitely want to add some fresh herbs. I have some sage, rosemary, thyme, mint, whatever. So just grab what you have. I just used some of these Mediterranean herbs and chopped those up as well. And I just like to take them off, so that's just the leaves, and just put them directly onto the vegetables, and then the larger bits of the herbs, I just chop those up. And then I add some spices. This is Ras El Hanout, which is a Northern African spice that I love. It's a great spice mix. I add that on some curry, salt and pepper, what have you. I even added some caraway seeds. I love that on potatoes as well. So I think the more herbs and spices you add, the better it tastes. So go crazy with it. Then you want to use some extra virgin olive oil and just add a splash of that on each side, and then just take your fingers, mix it through so that it's all evenly coated. And then it is off into a preheated oven. So I just put those in the oven at about 200 degrees Celsius, so figure out what it is in Fahrenheit because I don't know. I think it's gonna take maybe like 40 minutes or so, and then you just turn them occasionally like with a spoon or something and yeah, just wash them in the oven. They do have to be turned occasionally. So here's my secret trick with the potatoes. You just squeeze some of the garlic on top with a garlic press, and then you put it back in the oven for 5 minutes just to roast the garlic, and oh my god, you have the best herbed and garlicky potatoes. Okay, so here's the stuff directly out of the oven. I've got the crispy baked potatoes, or like roast potatoes. These are so good, and oh, they're so flavorful, especially with that garlic. And then the vegetables look like that. They're still steaming, and you can just have them like that. I sometimes like to have them with a little bit of balsamic vinegar on top, and actually I have some tzatziki left over. We made tzatziki like a few days ago. I'll show you that. Okay, so here's the tzatziki, which is basically a Greek yogurt dip with yogurt and cucumber, shredded cucumber. There's some herbs and spices in there, and garlic, and that's basically it. So here's the finished plate. Tons of vegetables and tzatziki dip. So delicious. Yay, dinner finally. That is so good. And it's like so easy to make. If you want to be super quick, you can even buy the chopped up like vegetables. You basically just like throw it in the oven, and then while it's cooking, you can like do something else. I mean, yeah, you have to turn it a couple times, but like you don't have to keep watching and like adding stuff. You just like put it in, and then meanwhile you can, like I was already starting to edit another video. So good. And you can do this with like any seasonal vegetable. I love this kind of Mediterranean vegetable mix, and with the asparagus too, it's really good. Getting an herb garden is also something that you could really do easily if you have even if you have a small terrace. Like the place where we lived before, our porch was like tiny, but I had like hanging containers there, and I grew a ton of herbs there, and I use them all the time for cooking, and it makes like any food taste better, especially vegetables, because I feel like, you know, some of these vegetables don't have like the strongest of flavor, like zucchini. So I feel like it really benefits from herbs, like fresh herbs that you add. And you know, some people always ask me like, how do you find time to do cooking and all that? Well, I personally like cooking, and it's something that I sort of, not all the time, honestly, like yeah, sometimes I'm not in the mood, but often I actually look forward to that time of the day when I can like cook dinner. I just find it relaxing, like cutting up vegetables and like, you know, stuff like that. I find it very therapeutic. So I actually really enjoy cooking. And often that's like the time when my husband comes home from work. So we will cook together, and we'll like talk about our day while we're cooking. 90% of the food I eat, or maybe 80, is whole foods. So I just buy the produce and cook it. You know, ready-made meals, like almost never. So it's actually a different day, and as I was editing that video, I realized I forgot to say goodbye to you guys. So I want to say thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on further Fit Fridays, and yeah, let me know your ideas in the comments for topics that you want to see to do with like diet and nutrition and things like that. And yeah, I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye.